All right, guys, it has been a while, been a long, long while, but I am back with a mod pack that I want to play called Contained. Now, why don't we just jump into it and I will tell you a little bit more. Now, when we spawn in, we are simply in a little tiny box, and excuse my green hand. I would show you the rest of my skin, but I'm really excited for Halloween. So, you know, Halloween skin. It's all orange, but you can't see it because I'm wearing some spacesuit and probably shouldn't take that off. All right, so if we come over here to quests, we have some stuff that we need to read about. So our very middle one says, thanks for downloading and welcome to Contained, a 1.21.1 space-based mod pack. Let's come up to creators. Another Ben Law and mod pack with Ammonium, who was the creator of mod packs such as Forever Factory and Mechanical Mastery, and also Yuki, who provided many of the custom textures needed for the pack. This pack uses Ultimine. Holding down the selected key, Grave, will allow you to break multiple blocks at once. We got resource packs in here, which is kind of cool. Let's come over here to shaders. We also got shaders. That's great, useful tips. You can use the dark mode button at the bottom of your bottom left of your inventory to enable various levels of dark mode. By default, you can press the Z key to zoom in. Quests. As always, a lot of things have been tweaked in this mod pack. Some usual methods to obtain things may be different from what you are used to. The quest book aims to direct you through the mod pack. Contained has fully custom dimensions, but you need to get out of the cube first. Are we in a cube? I thought this was like a circle or something. Join the BBL Discord for support, report bugs, and suggest features or additions. Use -Discord in game to get the link. Great, appreciate it. Awesome. So I've already taken a little bit of a gander through the quests to see how we're supposed to do this. And let me just get a couple of things bookmarked so we can do this a little easier. So I believe that we can just break this with our bare hand, and it looks like we are in a cube. And this looks like the, is it Compact Machines wall? So we are in a cube. So why don't we just go ahead and break all of this stuff? All right, so I think the way this is supposed to work is we can turn pebbles or asteroid rocks into, so we can turn these little asteroid rocks into light grade asteroids, and then we can turn those into asteroid rods. And with 4 asteroid rods, we can craft a organic room lockpick. And I believe if we click on this right here, we should get ourselves another room. And that is a really, really ugly tree. Wow. All right, let me just break all of this organic powder block, which can be used for mysterious organic compost or as wool to make a bed. We can also use it as dirt to grow things. All right, it looks like we have a little bit of a journey ahead of us, and we have light gray stripped log, which we can turn into light gray planks and into a light gray crafting table. Let's see, I guess since this is our center room, we will put our crafting table right here. Oh, we can really jump. And if you look at our map over here, there in the top right of your screen, you can see that we are in a little bit of an asteroid field. Cool. So what do we have to do next? Crap. There we go. And this is why I don't like quests very much, because we always have issues like this. Okay, but all right. We've got several different ways we can go, but I think what they want us to do is go for the asteroid hammer. I mean, we'll have to make the rest of the tools as well as the stone bowl and the wooden bucket. We can also craft these room blocks. Can we break these room blocks? It doesn't look like we can do that just yet. So let's grab ourselves the hammer. All right, let's see. So we need a asteroid pickaxe, which will take some sticks, and the asteroid hammer. Now I believe that if we can get 2 different things here. Okay, what if we do this? There we go. So we have to right click in order to get the items out of it. That is good news. Now that we have these things, I'm going to really quickly just knock all of these items out, seeing as they're really not too special. And then we'll come back and I will move on to the quests. All right, so we have ourselves all the quests. I just went through and crafted up all of the stuff. It really wasn't anything super duper special. What I believe we can actually do is this is actually something that we can quick craft lots of things. So we come over here and we craft ourselves some of these asteroid rods and make another organic room. Then we can scroll down here and grab ourselves the lockpick and just quick craft the lockpick for this. So now if we say open up this room, we have ourselves a room with more asteroids. asteroid rocks, which really wasn't an issue, but I guess we have to follow the quests. Now, the reason I picked this mod pack was because they had a couple of mods that I wanted. I've never played with Oratech, which is in here. I know a lot of people did play with it on Ocean Block 2, and I think that's the majority of what I wanted. I mean, we have Oratech, we've got random mods like Simple Hats, which I think was actually in the last BBL mod pack that I played. So of course we got Oratech, we got Mystical Agriculture, we have Just Dire Things, which I have actually not played with yet. I played with a little bit in ATM 10, which I don't think I actually made any videos for, but I was playing on Fallen's server, and it looks like Just Dire Things has gotten a lot more advanced. We also have integrated dynamics, which is great. We have G-Ore. I love G-Ore. We have Draconic Evolution, which I'm not totally psyched about. I think that mod's really cool, other than the fact that you have to fight that big old boss nearing the end of the mod. We have Chipped and we have the other one, Rechiseled. But yeah, this should be a ton of fun. So let's see what we have to do next. The next chapter. The next chapter is, of course, goo. So I believe that if we craft some goo and then place some charcoal blocks next to organic powder, it will transform into a block of charcoal. So let's come over here and make ourselves a goo. And then what I think we need to do is something like this. And then we do, see that item that flashes there says what we need to use. Nice. Okay. And this should slowly turn these blocks into coal. Just like that, we have ourselves some charcoal blocks. Okay. What do we do with these, you ask? Well, we can craft ourselves a furnace from Mystical Agriculture and charcoal, mini charcoal, and biomass. Awesome. Biomass is, of course, from Oratech. So what we need to do here is, let's see. Let's craft ourselves the furnace first, and I'm so glad that I made more than enough of this. And then we need some charcoal, some mini charcoal, and then we actually need to turn more of this organic powder into the powder form instead of the block form. And then we can craft ourselves biomass. Now this is actually super cool. I can eat this, however. I would not suggest it as it will give you hunger, but of course we need to make ourselves a block of biomass and the magmator, and the magmator and some biofuel in a wooden bucket full of biofuel will give us, oh, no, we can just smelt things now. Okay, I see. So really quickly, let's craft ourselves up some more biomass. What am I missing for this? Tiny charcoal. Yeah, let's start with 18. 18 should do. And of course, you have to craft it in a 3x3 in order to get a block of biomass. Now putting this on top and on bottom, I know I said that backwards, with a little bit of this, should give us some liquid, although I do realize now that I don't have enough buckets to board this. Okay, now we have 2, and these buckets do have durability, which is interesting. And with very little time, we should be able to get our hands on some liquid biofuel. Now these conversions are so cool. What are we waiting for? They should be done by now. There we go. And now we have a couple buckets of biofuel. Now with a magmator, we need some more organic biofuel. Real quick, let me just break down some more of this. 9. You don't get as much of that as you think you should. Like that. We just need another 18, and we need some more coal blocks. And then we can craft ourselves the magmator. So real quick, I'll be right back. I'll just take care of this and I will see you in a second. So with the creation of the magmator, just like that, we should be able to do something. I'm not entirely sure, but I think if we place those two next to each other, let's see. Okay, of course, just as I thought, we can put biofuel in and we can start smelting things up. Now, what exactly do we need to smelt up? Light gray asteroid dust will give us small iron dust, and then small iron dust, 3x3 will give us iron dust, and which we can smelt into iron. We can also make asteroid sand out of the iron dust, or out of the light gray asteroid dust, which we can smelt into glass. It's just glass. So I think the way this works is, let me really quickly hammer down some of this asteroid blocks into some asteroid dust. This conversion is really cool. So let's make me some asteroid dust, or asteroid sand. Let's just start with 4. And then how is iron dust made again? You just smelt it. All right, let's see, it's 36 enough. 36 should be enough. So I believe with a bucket like that, so it is working. Let's start with the asteroid dust. Now I've never actually used the furnace from Mystical Agriculture, but it seems to work out pretty well. Now, so this is some major processing to get iron, because first you need to get your hands on this light gray asteroid. You hammer it down and you get asteroid dust. Asteroid dust in a furnace will give you small iron dust, and then small iron dust in a 3x3 will give you iron dust, and smelt that again and you can get iron. So it is quite the process. Wow, I'm gonna need a lot more of this than I thought I would. So apparently we're going to have to wrap up a lot of this biofuel because we are running through this super quickly. I think it's like 2 items. Maybe it's an item. For every item that this smelts, it takes a millibucket or 100 millibuckets. Actually, yeah, that might be right. That might be exactly right. So we're going to need a lot of this, seeing as we're going to need a lot of iron for these quests. We can craft these iron room keys, however, which hopefully should help out a little bit. So this is where I suggest we should start, is with the iron room key. But I'll be right back. I'm going to craft up a ton of biofuel and we'll see where we go from there. Now, I may have realized that I am an idiot because I can still craft a furnace. Now, if we come over here and place the furnace down, now that might be why, because there aren't actually fuels. Yep, I can only use the Mystical Agriculture fuels. Now, that actually makes me feel a heck of a lot better. Of course, we have Geore, but yeah, we cannot use the furnace yet. All right, that makes me feel a ton better. I did craft up like 6 more buckets of this. This one didn't process, which is fine, but that should keep up with our iron dust needs. So it's clear to me that we're going to need a lot more than just the 36 iron dust that we have right now. We're going to need a lot more. Before this finishes, let me really quickly craft this into iron dust and grab out the 28 glass that we got. Now, man, this is going to be really tough. I have gone ahead and I have kind of selected, I don't know, I've bookmarked all of these things in my JEI so that I don't have to keep coming back here to do so. So to complete this chapter, we're going to need to go all the way to this almost unbreakable glass, and that is going to take a lot of iron. I mean, just look at all of this iron that this is going to take. I mean, of course we can uncraft this iron block, but we are going to need to smelt down a ton of this light gray asteroid dust. So I'm gonna get to it. I've already created a couple of extra rooms here just to get my hands on some more wood and some of this organic powder block because we were running out. So I think what I'm gonna have to do for the next little while is just sit here and farm out block of biomass, some of this light gray asteroid dust, and get as much iron as we can get our hands on. So I'll be right back. This might take a while. All right, fam, I'm hoping and I'm praying that we have everything we need to complete this chapter real quick. This was a lot of just farming more biomass and smelting up so much iron. I mean, this took a long time, but I think we should hopefully have enough. So iron block, let's craft some of these iron nuggets. Let's uncraft this iron block. Let's craft ourselves the room key, the pipe wrench, the basic pipe upgrade, the fluid pipes, 32 of them. We already have glass. Let's get our hands on some glass panes and some almost unbreakable glass. And that should be the chapter. There it is. All right, guys. So with that chapter complete, I'm trying to decide whether we jump into another one. We do have a lot of steps to do, apparently. Let's just do... This one shouldn't take as long as that last one. And we should get into some healthy automation. My microphone was not in front of my face that whole time. I am terribly sorry. That probably sounded like trash. Anyway, let's jump into the solar chapter. So we need to craft up one of these iron key glass rooms. Or I guess it probably just has a glass roof. I don't know. Let's open up this guy and see what we get. So we get a room with windows of unbreakable glass. Are they actually unbreakable? They are unbreakable. And what we have is almost unbreakable glass. So they really don't want to let us out just yet. I want to leave. That's all right. So we have to craft up 3 of these reflectors, which are just these small iron bits with some of these glass panes. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. We're actually going to need 9 of them, which means I am going to need some more little iron dust. That's all right. While we wait for that, let's take a look at let's make a solar panel real quick. So I don't really know. So this is just an item, I believe. We have to use it to craft this solar cooker, which we can then use to make, I don't know, some roasted rocks and mysterious powder. And this should lead us into the rest of the chapter. Let's see. So let's craft craft up a second solar panel. What else do we need for this solar cooker? We need a chest and just some of this light gray asteroid. And that is the solar cooker. So I'm going to place this guy right in the middle of this room like that. And it should be able to cook things. See, so the sun is up, or kind of, whatever it is. So with the sun up, I believe we can start to cook things. So why don't we start with some of these crunchy rocks? And this is pretty quick. Oh, and joy, this does make getting iron dust a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some of this mysterious powder and eat some of these tasty rocks. So what I'm going to need is some of this reflective glass, because if you place, I believe if you place 2 on top of the chest, placing this 2 blocks above the solar cooker allows you to use it when it's dark. So I don't know, there? Yeah. So this reflective glass is pretty cheap. I should be able to afford it. Hoping that I have enough glass for it. Let's see, what's my scaffolding block of choice? Probably this powder. So 2 blocks above. Yeah. So that should let me use it when it's dark, I hope. So what do we do with this mysterious powder? For one, we can craft some mysterious gray powder, I believe. And with this, we can craft up mysterious gray asteroid, which I believe is like an infinite block. You break it and it doesn't break. So let's place this guy back here. What do we do? A strange block that consistently regenerates, works as a renewable supply of light gray asteroids, needs iron tool or better to mine. Thank goodness we made some extra iron. Interesting. All right, so that should help. Wait, can I get, so this does have different chances associated with it. So I can still get the pebbles and I can get compost or organic powder from it. So that's cool. So we're going to need some of this mysterious powder, mysterious organic powder. Let's get our hands on some more iron. That is so cool. I'm a fan of this. So what we're going to need is some more of this, and then surround that with this. No, am I gonna need another tree room? Seriously? I am too short and I'm going to have to grab another tree room. That's a bit of a bummer. Let's see. Getting all of that biofuel was pretty taxing. I have more rooms than I thought I would need to get started, and definitely more rooms than I had when I played Xeopolis Submerged. Now, let's see here. Mysterious organic powder gives us mysterious organic compost. And if we place this on this side of the room, I'm just trying to set up a cool looking thumbnail for the most part, and craft ourselves an iron shovel. Hey, we got water. Do we always get water? We do. We get water and wood from this guy. That is so cool. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with water. I can make soup. If I click dirt, that turns into mud, and it's used for the water agglomeration, as well as getting my hands on actual water. That is so cool. Now, I believe that we need to get our hands on the simple block breaker from Just Dire Things. That should help us in automating these resources. Okay, interesting. Let's see. So a simple block breaker should just look like this. And if we place this on top here with a pickaxe, so what we're actually going to need is, so this doesn't actually pick up the items. Well, I don't really know how it works. Let me craft a second one for this mysterious dirt, because iron really shouldn't be an issue anymore, I'm thinking, or at least I'm hoping. And then place one of those there, place one of those there, and break this. Toss an iron shovel in, and we should have just automated wood and rock. Now, ideally, I would line the walls with them, but I already have more items than I can handle. If I had my hands on an item hopper, let's see. I'm gonna mess with the configuration of this, see if I can automate this a little better. Then we'll come back and we'll move on. All right, so unfortunately my plan did not work. I was hoping that just by placing a hopper beneath the block that is being broken, it would collect the items, but unfortunately what happens is the items are spawned too high or even just above the block so that it doesn't work, which is fine. We already have more stuff than we need right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm just going to set this back to the way that it was, and I guess we'll have to hold out for I think the only item picker-upper that we have in this mod pack is the item collector from Just Dire Things. So I'm gonna set this back to what it was. Just like that is fine. And then we need to toss some of this charcoal into the solar cooker, and I went ahead and I crafted up some of these reflectors to speed up the process. Block of raw iron. I don't know why we would want to turn an iron block into raw iron, but I'm sure there is a reason. I guess it's to make some of this ferrite ore and this primal coal, which we can use for more machines. Really quickly, I'm going to craft up some more of this iron, although I guess we can actually go ahead and make some more of this coal to get our hands on the primal coal. Now, a lot of these quests, their rewards are V-Bucks. They don't seem to have much of a use unless there is no, I don't see anything that's like a store or anything. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. I mean, the quests, when I play mod packs, I tend not to use the quests unless it is absolutely necessary. Oh, it's already starting. Perfect. But other than that, this should take a little bit of time. I'm going to harvest up some more of this light gray asteroid into light gray asteroid dust and turn it into iron. Unfortunately, you cannot use this solar cooker to turn iron dust into iron ingots. You still have to use the furnace over here. And I did take a look at the blast furnace. It still uses the same fuel sources as the furnace does. So that's not going to help either. So I need to craft up a bunch of this iron. I'll be right back. Okay, in case I understated how useful this solar cooker was, let me just show you something really quick. Look how quick this is. This is quick and it's free. I used to have to spend 1 bucket of biofuel just to get 11 of these small iron dusts. I get about 11.5 per bucket of biofuel. And now I'm getting all of these for free. I still have to spend biofuel to get iron ingots, but this is so much easier. I haven't had to craft biofuel in quite a while. So in case you didn't see, we have this primal coal, which you get a lot more than I thought you would. And unfortunately, I am so poor that I can't afford 6 blocks of iron, but I think the 2 should be all right for now. So with 2 blocks of iron, and a little bit of water. I'm using water now since it's free. We should get our hands on some of the ferrocore. I'm just taking Genner at the next chapter. I think this is where we're going to stop because I don't want to have like 100 hours of editing. That's what killed me in the first place. But I want to get this out to you guys by Friday. I know it's a little before Halloween, but I think I look cool. Anyway, so we should have another 30 seconds of conversion. While we wait for this, I'm just going to try and get my hands on as much iron as I can. You do this pickaxe break. It's pretty close. Okay, so the pickaxe is pretty much broken, so I'm just gonna take it out. And I am going to sit here and farm up some more iron. And I think I will need to craft some more biofuel. I don't know, just because I need more iron. And this next bit is going to be very iron heavy. And it's done already. Perfect. See. And of course, it makes the amethyst sound. I don't blame him for choosing that one. So we have the raw ferrite and we have the primal coal. And I believe what we are doing next is just some quick machines. Wow, you get a lot from that. I am all right with that. And of course, we still have to use this furnace, except we are out of biomass. I will be right back. All right, with a little bit of this ferrite ore ingots, which we're still smelting up some more, I believe we should have everything we need to craft to complete the chapter. So of course, we need the simple clicker. We need the simple fluid collector, which we need a bucket for. And we need a simple block placer. Now, I think we can do something kind of interesting with this. If we put the simple clicker here, now I'm totally just spitballing here. See, so this is the clicker and then the block placer. If we put that there and then we put this here, look at that automated dust. And we can even speed this guy up. Look at that. We have some processes that are really going to help. So now I don't have to spend my time breaking down these blocks. I mean, I still need more iron to do that, and we can even automate fluids because we can use a clicker, a placer, and a fluid collector, and we can automate biomass. I mean, not automate, but we can make it a whole lot faster. We even have fluid pipes. So we have a lot of really cool things that we can do. And I am going to have to make you guys wait for that as we are reaching the end of the time we have for today. Okay, guys, before we finish up though, I would like to actually finish the chapter. I am recording this after I did the outro, which was a little rough. I forgot to make this iron invisible light placer. That's my bad. That's on me. If we come over here, I believe it looks something like invisible light, 3 iron, and a charcoal block. There we go. That is the chapter. Now, I guess I will let you finish up. I really appreciate you guys. Man, this thing is so ugly, but I really appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm hoping to get the next episode out in a single week. So you should have a video on the 26th and the, I don't know, is that the 4th or something? Maybe the 3rd on the next Friday after this one. Anyway, have a good time. Goodbye.